In conjunction with this event, we ask for your help and guidance. Ya Allah, kindly give us strength and courage to face the struggle, to find and gain knowledge. Kindly bestow blessing, physical and spiritual health, fitness of mind, peace of mind, strength of spirit. Ya Allah, give us strength to our teachers, lecturers, and our leaders to continue to serve for people, society, nation, and religion. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohsin. Now, without any further delay, I would like to open the floor for our speaker to start to continue the session further. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Let me check. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وقل الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you for the MC, the introduction. Abdul, the chair for the organizing the session, and also Doa reciter, brothers. How is everyone in the online session? Hopefully you are doing great. So this is our title. Procrastination kills. Someone already asked me before we even commenced the program that there is blood and everything is a bit scary in the poster. Actually, it's just to catch the attention of the audience. Alhamdulillah. So now is what we call, I mean, for the postgraduate students, what I'm trying to do is in this talk is we like to give some motivation during this difficult time. I think during this pandemic, everyone is having some sort of challenges. It doesn't matter who, even students or lecturers. So everyone need motivation, including myself. Including myself, I also need some sort of motivation. So by giving this talk, hopefully, hopefully we will benefit each other. Many students were stranded because of this pandemic. Therefore, we would like to help the student so that the student will get motivation. The student will have some sort of what we call courage, and also they are motivated to continue their research. So without delay, my name is Muhammad Mahdi bin Abdul Jamal. I'm from UTHM Johor. I guess most of you know, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia is a technical university based in Johor. These are my students, I mean postgraduate students, whom I have supervised so far. If you see, look at the nice flags. I think you recognize which country is from. Mainly they are from Nigeria, Maldives, Pakistan, Somalia, and Algeria. and of course Malaysian. So these are the PhDs, master students that I have supervised so far. My education background is in medical electronics engineering, uh, degree in medical engineering, PhD in cell engineering, Bradford University, United Kingdom. So at the moment I'm based in Faculty of Electrical Electronic Engineering in UTSM. Our research group known as Biomedical Modeling and Simulation Research Group. Little bit about my research quickly. Uh, so my area will be medical electronic engineering and also known as biomedical engineering or medical engineering. Uh, my research interest is mainly on cell engineering, looking at wound healing, um, anti-cancer studies. We're looking at treatment of cells, cancer cells using high voltage treatment, medical instrumentation, monitoring body signals, ECGs, EEGs, brain signals, heart signals, rehabilitation, uh, how we can monitor patients' performance online. For example, their rehabilitation process online, collecting data, logging data in computers, and last but not least, image processing. We're doing taking microscopic images of red blood cells or ultrasound images of heart disease, MRI, and then also some forensic samples. That mean age estimation and gender for the people who are, the death. So these are the main area of focus that I'm doing research in my area. Right. During MCO, I'm sure everyone is a little bit restricted. These are the list that I can think of on top of my head. So limited movements. That means students are sometimes, I think, maybe they are not allowed to come to the universities. For the moment, the lab is inaccessible. You cannot access to the lab, or if you want to access to the lab, also they do. Uh, there is a routine, or that means a week you can spend time in the lab, and then the next week you work from home, and then the following week you can come to the lab again. And sometimes supervisors not available. It's difficult to catch the supervisors during MCO because you are far away. But when you are close, you can go easily. You can go to to meet the supervisors. Resources limited. Maybe some of the references you didn't get time, or you didn't get a chance to go to the library or to the places that where you find the resources normally. Then the materials that you use for research is out of stock. Sometimes you order, even you have to order from overseas, and nowadays parcels from overseas is not coming in. People are never unavailable. That means there's no people around you. Before this, you have 5-6 friends sitting with you, sitting together, and you are doing some work, and you're doing research, you're doing networking, you can discuss, but now nobody is around you. And everyone work from home. Including your lecturer, they also work from home. You also work from home. You don't get to see the people. You stress, right? You're stressed because of the pandemic. Scared of COVID. Yeah, it's just not you. I think everyone is scared as well. They are just being extra careful, extra cautious, which is good. And then all these things could lead to demotivation. Student can become demotivated, um, sometimes depressed, right? And no outcome of research. So what you do is you just keep on staying in home. You don't meet the people, you don't meet anyone. You keep it to yourself. So what I do then? If these things are happening around me, what I do then? Okay, let's look at some of the examples. So these are some of the examples that I took online, right? What I should do during MCO, right? Everybody will be thinking what I should do. I'm sure there are people are doing something, but are we doing the right thing actually? But what I'm doing, look at the cartoons. So it says, I feel so productive today. So you get the list, you have a list to do, things to do. So if you look at the tasks, small tasks, insignificant tasks, tiny tasks, trivial tasks, easy task, okay? That huge task you were supposed to have done a long time ago, but keep putting it off. What's that? That's the research actually. And then what happened? All the tasks above is done, but when the research come, that's the main thing that we should be doing. And then we come, okay, never mind. We just stop. Right. Are we doing the right thing actually? Are we doing the right thing? That's the question. During MCO, are we doing the research work? Let's later on I will share to you what are the things that we should be doing during MCO. What we can do so that we are always in the momentum doing research. Are you in stress? Are you worried and concerned? Right? Stress is different, your worries is different, concern is different. So the student, if you look at that, the student thinks that I have to take an exam tomorrow. So the student are in stress, right? The student are in stress. But look at the professors. I have to give an exam tomorrow. So sometimes we think that we are in the difficult times or what. But actually, everyone is in stress. Don't worry about that. Everyone is in stress. Not just the student, but also the lecturers. Right? If you are worried and concerned, that is good. Stress is no good. Right? If you are worried and concerned. Why? You worry, what will happen? Because now it's MCO. I have to finish my study. Right? So I'll have to complete my studies, right? So when we start our PhD, studies or master studies, what we think? Okay, PhD is 3 years, masters is 2 years, right? Or it's a very long time. Not actually. Look at this year, mashallah. Look at this year. What happened? Year 2020 is finishing soon, right? 1 year is gone. If you look back, you will be able to tell what you have been doing for the past year, right? So if you are in stress, don't worry, because this is normal. When doing studies, sometimes people become stressed, but we don't want to become over stressed, right? Okay. Have you made a target to work on? Now, this is the question. I hope the listeners, you ask the question, the students, have you made a target to work on? Do you have a plan? Right? Do you have a plan? Do you have a task to achieve? Look at what happened to the sheep. It's actually the sheep, you know. The cartoon is the sheep. Ignore him. He's the contrarian in the family. He's going the other way. Why is that fool going the other way? You know, everybody's asking. Everyone is going in one direction, but that guy alone, he is going in another direction. Actually, what people tend to do is when we look at our surrounding environment, everybody is relaxing, everybody is not thinking so much, you know, they're keeping to themselves. So people tend to follow the pattern. But now we don't want to follow the pattern. We want to think differently. That means even during MCO, we want to keep positive ourselves, right? We want to keep positive. We want to keep performing. We want to keep doing our research. For that, I suggest strongly that you have to have target. That means for every semesters, let's say for every semesters or for every month or for every 2 months, you need to have a plan. So what I'm going to achieve this in this month, what I'm going to achieve in 2 months time, what I'm going to achieve in for this semester. List down the task and discuss with your supervisor. Your supervisor should be able to tell you, okay, this much work is enough for one semester or for 1 month or 2 months, right? From there, you can start to take off your research, even during MCO. That's not a problem, right? But even for my student, I also share these things that you have to measure your performance. I mean, everyone, even me, myself, I have to measure my performance when I come to work. So how do I perform? What is the rate of performance? Okay. Now, when I said before, there are few things that research students should be doing, right? And during MCO, these are the things that you can still be doing. Maybe some will have limitation because of the restriction, but most of the work here you can do. What's that? Uh, Reading, writing, experiment, analysis report writing. That means you have results, you already have data and things, so you can sit down and do analysis, right? Not just we do experiment, excuse me, so much of experiment, we got the data and we just keep in the storage. No, we want to use that data and do analysis. If you do analysis, then you will be able to tell where you are at the moment in your research. How much work I have to do some more? Is this enough? So you have to do that report writing. And then publication, product competition, if you have any innovation ideas, or even fundamental research, you can go for research competition. And then you can also polish your presentation skills. That means we can improve our skills of presentation, our communication, talking to audience, presenting posters, things like that. All right, and then writing thesis. Okay, during MCO, you will have no problem to write thesis. You can sit down and just 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, just sit down and do the thesis, right? But the problem is, do you have the right momentum to start writing the thesis? Later we look at some example. Okay. Right. Let's look at this. The common mistake the postgraduate student do is you just keep on reading. Before reading, what you do, you will print out the journals, papers, go to library, get 5, 6 thick books, and then bring like 20, 30 papers, print out, and then you go and sit down in your room and you just keep it there. So what you do, you start to read few papers, few pages, and then the next day you do the same thing, and then after that you do the same thing again, reading again, right? Look at the cartoon, what he said. It's 5 p.m. and I haven't done anything today. Why? Why did I waste the whole day doing some stupid things that don't matter? Uh, must do something, anything, read one paragraph of paper, right? So you can see at the end he's he's not happy with the performance of the day, right? What is the mistake? Student, they just read and read and read without writing. Reading only without writing is no use. And writing without reading, of course, what we're going to write if we don't read. So whenever you do the reading, literature review, right, you should do some writing. Type the summary of each paper in the Microsoft Word direct. Name it chapter 1, and then literature review. Every papers that you read, if you read, let's say 3 papers, you will have 3 paragraphs for that day summary. That's a simple one. So in a month you will have, literature review chapter is the main information is there. But when you just read, what happened after 2 weeks you will forget. After 3 weeks, after a month, then you will come back and open again and you read again. That's the wrong method. So what I'm sharing here is that during MCO you cannot go to the lab or so on. So you sit down and do your literature review more and do your theory, get extra knowledge on your research, right? And polish up your knowledge as well. That means you get some new information. So these are the things that can fill your time. If you don't fill the time, what happens? The time will not wait for us. It will just pass, and you'll notice by a year, the year is gone, right? 2020 is finishing soon. Like we just thought like it's just the beginning of 2020, but because of the MCO and so many things happen, now 2020 is finishing already. So one thing that you can do, reading and also writing at the same time, right? Next is I put there study construction. That means you need to have a plan of studies, what you're going to do. Like before we discussed about the task that you want to achieve. Are you going to do some experiment work? Are you going to do some modeling, simulation, analysis, report writing based on the available data, right? So when you see your supervisors, he will ask you, what have you accomplished this year, right? This year, but it only just started, you will say, right? Before even giving any answer, you will say it's just started. So what the supervisor say? Just started since December 31st at midnight. I've written 2 proposals, submitted 3 reviews. He keeps saying what he has done, right? So what we say, I caught up on my emails, right? Most of the time is gone in the places that we are not supposed to do. If we are not careful, this MCO time will pass, and our performance at the end, we will see there is not much been done. So these are the things that you can do. If you can go for experiment for a week, that means you can go to universities. That whole week you should do maximum work experiment, collect the most data, because the next week I think in UTP is like that, right? So they put an alternate for postgraduate, if I'm not mistaken. So for the next week, you can sit down and do analysis, report writing, you can analyze the data, and you can do other writing up. So get the maximum experiment that you can done for the week, right? And then modeling and simulation. This one you can do if you have the decent software and uh, proper networking. Then you can do even wherever you are. So modeling simulation, you can get it done during this time, right? But unless if you have to go to uni, then you have to find out a way how to get the same software operating system. Analysis, report writing, this you can do in the daily basis. You can spend time doing in daily basis, doing analysis and report writing, right? Next, publication, right? Look at the cartoon again. This research is impossible, right? Why? Because he said he saw the latest journal issues, paper with same title you were doing to give your thesis. Someone already did the work, they say. This is something that I want to share with the students, that some students, they keep on doing the research so much, and then they are lagging little bit in publication. You what we call, maybe you focus on the research and other matters, and you will publish towards the last year. It depends on your supervisors, but it is also good that we publish as soon as possible to avoid things like this happen. I mean, you were doing and somebody else come and supersede the work. Why? Because you didn't publish the work. But it is not a big deal. You can always publish your work and you can justify your work. If you can justify your work, how different is your work with others, then it should be no problem. But having said that, we as a student, we have to publish our work as soon as possible. Now, during MCO, what is the best thing you can do is that you sit down and do a writing up. You can write a simple conference paper, proceeding papers. You can write an overview paper, overview, which is a small review paper. A review is a very, like more than 50 to 100 references. So you can write an overview paper, and you can write a journal paper with the results that you have. You can do that writing up. After that, you show to your supervisor. And I'm sure your supervisor, your lecturer, they will appreciate your work, your effort in doing that publication, preparation of the draft of the papers. So during MCO, you can do this writing up, write as many you can, publish papers, because nowadays conference also is not physical, it's online. You can submit paper to any part of the world and just pay the fees online, and then you present your papers. You can be presenting in any part of the world without any traveling. So it is an advantage. So you can present online. Sometimes they just ask you to send a recorded video of your presentation. That's a performance, and it will be useful when it comes to writing up your thesis. It will be useful when you want to defend your work. So I think it's a good idea. You should go on and do this publication during the MCO, right? Sometimes people ask, Doctor, why we have to go to this product competition? I encourage my student to go for competition, and because I want to expose them to the presentation skill. I want them to improve their presentation skill. I want them to have new contacts, get to know people. When you go there, you meet people, you get to know someone. That's the networking. Get to know people. I mean, potentially, when you are presenting your innovation to the panel, the same panel, he or she might become your external examiner. We don't know. That means you are familiar with the person already. That's a good thing. So the good thing is, if you being good to the external examiner, I mean you present well without challenging him and so on, right? This can be a disadvantage as well. Sometimes when you present your product innovation, because you think, oh, this guy is asking too many questions, and suddenly you become angry and you being harsh to him. So what happened? The same guy, he will return to become your external examiner. Who knows? Then that's it. That's a disadvantage. But the advantage is we get to know people. You can improve communication. Then you can get feedback from for our work. We get feedback. So what are we doing? What are other people doing? And what other people thinks about our work? And you can also generate new ideas. You go see the product innovation. From there, you can trigger to solve some problems. So that's the new ideas. What else? You can um, build the confidence. That means when you meet more people, you communicate more, you meet other people, then your confidence level will increase. And then we also will learn answering skills. That means how we answer the question asked. So the manners, how we give an answer, how people receive. So you will learn some knowledge there as well, and you get to explore yourself. Suddenly, when you go there to the innovation, you also notice what is the tendency. That means your interests. You might have different interests in doing research and so on. Okay, and then I also put there to energize ourselves. That means we want to sometimes get to refresh our mind, to refresh our thinking, because we've been doing same things when we go to this product competition. Even nowadays, it will be in online. In the online session, you can still see other people's work. You can get to know people, and then you also will get used to the online norm. Nowadays, online is the main thing already. So we can do meeting, viva session. We can do presentation, conference presentation, meetings, and so on. Even you can do meeting with your supervisors through online, right? You can communicate with your supervisors maybe through what WhatsApp call, WhatsApp video call or something like that. Uh, so these are the key to the future nowadays. So online will be, if we get used to online as soon as possible, this will be the key to the future. So we have to keep our pace also uh, according to the what is happening around us. So uh, that is one of the point. When you attend product competition, you will get some of the advantages. Now, last but not least, thesis writing. Okay. Um, so look at the cartoon again. I find is hilarious, but at the same time, this is the things that has I think most postgraduate student will go through. Okay, it's a new year, time for a bold resolution. I hereby declare this will be the year I write my thesis. Right? So you're very much motivated. So you sit down and type. That was easy. Now what? What did you type actually? Just the title, my thesis, right? Or what we'll type? Chapter 1, chapter 2, just the title of the chapters in our thesis. Because writing thesis also need concentration, right? If you sit down, let's say like now it's MCO, you're not going anywhere, right? It's the best time you sit down, focus, and do writing up. I have known people, they have written their thesis in 2 to 3 months. In 3 months, they can complete the whole PhD thesis. Why? Because they do focus writing up thesis from morning, afternoon, night. That's what you do. Thesis writing, you cannot write for 2 weeks and then you stop and then you want to go back to writing up thesis. No, that's not going to happen. But whenever we start writing up our thesis, we should just what we call continue with the process. Do not stop. Do not stop. So then you will achieve the momentum. If not, I can give you an example. What student will do? He'll go inside. For writing up. Right. So when to start writing up your thesis? You can start writing up your thesis from the very first day. This is what I share with my student, what I learned from my supervisors. Thesis writing up will start from the day you begin your research. That means everything you start to do, you should write up. You have a logbook. At the same time, you write a short technical report, so you keep it in your computer. So that all will become your part of your thesis. Okay? So your supervisor will say, okay, you must write something which is original, right? But if you do this at the very last time, I mean near to submission, what will happen? You need to write your own wordings, your own paragraph, your own sentences. That means you have to do from now until to the years that when you will do the submission. Okay? So you need to start writing up thesis from the day you begin the research. If you haven't started, so now is the best time. You should do. During MCO, that's the best time. You sit down. What chapter you can write during MCO? If I can, I think it will be good if I can interact with the audience online, but so we don't do that. The question is, what chapter you can write? Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Introduction, literature review, methods. You can write them now. Even some of the result chapters you can write now. You can spend time doing these chapters without any what we call any restriction. So you can do. Okay, go ahead. Start writing chapter 1, 2, and 3. You should be able to do that. Okay. And then I put this image because it is quite interesting. One message, interesting message here is that I said find the momentum, continuous process. Doing research for postgraduate student, masters or PhD, doing research, it is actually a continuous momentum finding process. It's like you planting a tree. So when you plant a tree, what happened? You have to look after the plant. You have to put the water the plant, put what we call fertilizers and so on. So you have to care for the plant, and you leave it there. You don't keep changing the plant. You take out the plant and you put somewhere else, right? And you take this plant here and put there somewhere else. What happened? At the end, you will see that the plant is not growing. Same like this for the postgraduate student condition. Sometimes things happen in our daily life. I mean, with our communication, with our relationship with our supervisors, some misunderstandings, and during this time, there are higher chances of misunderstanding. But for simple reason, we shouldn't what we call leave our research. That means uh, there's a misunderstanding between you and your supervisors, so you say, oh, okay, um, I'll just leave this. I'll find a new supervisor. Okay, this shouldn't be the case. Or what we'll do, I find it so difficult this title now, so I'll change my research work. I'm going to new group. I'm going to find a new title. No, you stick with your supervisor, stick with your same title, stick with your same project, and overcome all the difficulties. Okay, overcome all the difficulties and keep on doing the research. And then after some time, you will notice the plant is growing. Your research will be what we call going in the correct direction, the correct ways, right? So whenever you have some issues or problems, problems can be solved. Remember that problems can be solved, misunderstanding can be solved, right? Miscommunication can be solved as well. What to do is that we always ready to admit the mistake and just what we call settle the problem. So we don't run away from the problem. What we address the problem. Okay. Um, but in some postgraduate cases, I've also seen some serious cases that students become depressed because especially if you are international student, even local student, but mainly international student, because your family is far away, right? Because your family is far away, you are alone here, and male or female doesn't matter, you are alone here, or maybe you are just with your family here. You are married. Excuse me. You are married and you have families. Some they don't have families. uh, those small point, they can lead towards depression actually. you know you become hopeless, you don't have mood, all right? Your health problem, restless, you become fatigued, and then sometimes you become anxious, anxiety. These things can disturb postgraduate student, and it may also lead towards depression. But uh, we need to know how to tackle these issues, right? We need to know how to tackle these issues. uh, but mainly I've seen some students, they started to walk alone and then talk to themselves. That is some sign. So if you sleeping and in the night suddenly you wake up from your sleep, you're dreaming, right? You've been shouting as well, right? You've been shouting some of your formulas and stuff and thesis chapters. That's normal. That's not a problem. But when you start to talk to yourself, that's also sometimes normal, but it's not normal as well. You can talk to you by yourself when you are alone, not in front of people. They will start to see what's happening, what's going on with this guy, right? Okay. So, but having said that, I want to share with you some golden rules, right? When we are the postgraduate student, we are studying here, especially we are from far countries, we are here. Number one, we be thankful to Allah and have the taking on Him. I mean, Allah is the one who planned everything for us. You are here, I am here, right? We can meet each other, we can listen to the talk, all right? And you are in Malaysia, right? You are doing postgraduate studies. You are also being paid by UTP. They sponsor you, or you find other sponsors. They give you some money. This is all is Allah's plan. So we be thankful to Allah. Number two, stay positive and always have good thinking. Even in MCO during this time, sometimes people say, "Oh, why I'm in Malaysia now? What happened now? You see, everywhere is locked down. You cannot go anywhere. Why I'm doing a PhD studies or master study during this pandemic? This is not what we planned. It's actually Allah is the one who planned for us. So Allah has put us for a reason here. So we stay positive, have good thinking in Allah and in everything that is happening. So number three is punctual in prayer. When there's prayer time, we are punctual in our salat. That means 5 times daily. And if we do this, inshallah, the depression will not come close to us. We will not be depressed. We will not be stressed, inshallah. And I also want to share with you. I mean, this is a common points that I share with other students, with our colleagues as well. Test is for everyone. We've been tested from our school time, universities, until now to our postgraduate studies. Even after we finish our studies, we'll be working, we'll be having families and so on, our futures. So all of us will be tested. So what to do? We have to always back to amal. I mean, you have to do Salatul Hajat. Every day we have to pray at least 2 rakat Salatul Hajat, asking Allah to help us in our daily affairs. And we ask specific dua. There is so many dua. Later I will share to you as well some of the important duas that we should make. And then spend time doing zikr of Allah in the morning, in the afternoon, little bit time. Quran recitation, if you do Quran recitation every day, inshallah, it will be a blessing for us. It will be a blessing for you. It will clean our heart. We'll have the nur inside our heart. And we also will have a very strong mind. A fresh idea will come, right? And we keep also doing fasting, if possible, Monday, Thursday fasting. According to one hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, to the nearest meaning, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prefer that if we fast even minimum of 3 days in a month. 3 days is not much, right? So we can do fasting, sadaqah. Sadaqah with the intention that, oh Allah, make my study easy, my postgraduate study easy, my viva easy, my thesis writing easy, everything. Just give sadaqah. Not so much, just maybe 1 ringgit. If you give, that also is enough. Right, I'm near to finish now. Okay. This is the dua that if you are in a great confusion, sometimes we are in so many problems, in a great confusion. So this is one dua that I would like to share. I've listened from one ulama saying that if you read this dua one time only, Allah will remove the total problems and all the confusion in our mind. So this is the dua, right? It is quite long, but it just sufficient if you read once. It is in Sahih Bukhari. If you are in stress, you or me, we are in stress, we read Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum bi rahmatika astaghith aslih li sya'ni kullahu wa la takilni ila nafsi tarfat ain. This dua is the best recited in the sajdah, in the prostration. In the prostration, if you read and you stand up from the sajdah, inshallah, all the problems and stress will go away, inshallah. Read this dua. And this one is removing anxiety, laziness. Sometimes we become lazy as well, as a student, as a staff, or whatever. Everyone is normal, we are human. So we read this. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan, wa a'udhu bika min al-ajizi wal-kasal, wa a'udhu bika min al-jubni wal-bukh, wa a'udhu bika min ghalabati ad-dayni wa qahri rijal. So recite this dua every day. Inshallah, we will feel better. The laziness will go away. And if you are in a great trouble, you feel sad, in sorrow, and so on, hopeless. So we read this zikr, very small one, very easy to remember. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Read it as much as you can. Inshallah, Allah will show the way out from all the problems. Whatever is attacking us at that time, Allah will be sufficient for us. He will help us. Final tips, I have faith and I pray to Almighty Allah, right? You know, you have to have faith in yourself and pray to Almighty Allah. And also ask your parents. Ask your parents, call them back home, you know, always keep in touch with mother and father. You know, one of the blessings that we have, if we still have our mother or father, these are the blessing. Because once they are no longer with us, we will start to miss their prayers. So while they are with us, keep in contact. At least a week, once in a week, you should call them. If we are international students, they are far away. Once every week, you should call them and ask them to make dua. Spouse, your wife, your husband, ask them to make dua for you as well. Last but not least, your supervisors. You should ask your supervisors, you know, to make dua for you. You should go and see, sir, please, you know, make dua for me, because your guru, you know, your teacher, your supervisor, his prayer also is important. If they give the blessing, inshallah, everything will become easy for us. So from there, I wish all the best for your studies. Good luck. Thank you for listening. And here I would like to share with you, I have my education channel. If you search my name, my full name, Muhammad Mahdi Abdul Jamil, you will go to that my YouTube channel. So what is there? I have some of my talks, recent and previous one. For example, how to graduate on time. So if you want to graduate on time, what you should do, you can listen to that talk. And then also I have some talk on how to maintain good relationship. So I have to break it into 3 parts, because it was 2 hour session I did with the UTHM student, in my home student in UTHM in Johor. So you can listen to these talks there, and they are also in a talk I conducted, psychology in Viva. So you can listen to all these talk. You can subscribe, like, or you can share the talk. If you you can also give your comments. I'll be thankful for the comments, whatever comments for improvement, inshallah. And last but not least, this is my contact details, my phone numbers, my email address, and I also provided you with the link to my CV, online CV. If you need any of my help or assistance in the future, I'll be more than happy to help you, inshallah. So with that, we can open for question and answer, I guess, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for such a informative session. Every talk you shared was very relatable, and I hope would be very helpful for all the students.
Okay.
Now, I would like to uh, ask the students if they have any questions, they can mention in the chat.
Okay. Um, is there any question?
Up till now, we do not have any questions.
Right. Let's see.
Okay, there is a question
Okay.
from Kasim Sani. Professor, do you think that asking for supervisor to pray will not cause any problem? Some supervisors may think otherwise.
Okay, Kasim. Asking for supervisor to pray will not cause any problem. Right, okay. I don't think so. Is there any problem? Because you just saying to them, Sir, Prof, um, can you, I need your blessing, just make dua for me, just pray for me. It doesn't matter even if he is in a different religion with you as well. He will still, give his blessing for you. I don't think so. There's any problem. Or what otherwise he will think? Can you give me an example? What otherwise?
Okay, let's wait.
Okay.
The other question from Farahida is how to balance between PhD life and role as a parent.
Okay. PhD life and roles as a parent. It is not easy. Faraida, it's not easy. It is not easy to balance the life, but we have to balance somehow our life as a student. Because if you are married and you are wife, you already have some schedule when you come back to home. You have to cook and you have to prepare food. At the same time, you're already tired in the universities, and after that you have to look after your kids as well. So you need to have a very good understanding with your spouse. That means your husband should be helping you out as well, and if he's not helping, then you have to discuss with him so that he helps you, and then you have to be what we call create a strict schedule. That means what time you want to be in the uni and you want to spend time for your PhD. So that's important. From there you can trash out times for your from your for your family affairs, for your children, for your husband, and also for your PhD, inshallah.
Yeah, very nice.
Uh,
Someone wants
I
to
can,
know.
yeah, I can see the question. I'll pick up from here, inshallah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sign five. Oh, Samsu Khairi. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, right. Okay. Thank you very much for the good remarks. Um, Expert in which field? I'm not an expert, but I'm working. My field is on medical electronics, so and biomedical engineering. How do I make my daily research schedule? I told you already. You have to be disciplined. What my supervisor told me that 8 to 5 you have to be in the lab. 8 to 5 you have to be in the workstation. So that's what we should do. So you can plan, inshallah. Um, who lost a dear one while preparing RPD? How to still? Okay. Yeah, research proposal defense, right? If you are lost some day one, it is very difficult for us. It's indeed a difficult time. But as life is, that's the rules. Everyone who live one day, they will have to leave this world. But since it happens to you, and I'm not sure who's the dearest person. If it is, parents, it will be even more tough for you as well. But uh, inshallah, keep reciting dua for them, reading Quran for them, and also you has to take that as a motivation as well. Will the dearest person appreciate if you pass your PhD or masters? I think they will be more what we call appreciate, right? They will be happy as well. From there, you still just keep on working. Don't worry about that. Just keep on doing your work, inshallah. But I know is quite a difficult time. um, okay. I have question. Please, my supervisor asked me to write literature review to find the gap. So can I write it directly in proposal and manage it? Yes, as a student, we are in the learning process. So if your supervisor asks you to do, I think just do it. Just go on with the task, do it, and ask for his feedback to find the gap. He or she will advise you what you should do. So directly in proposal, right? So you just have to write as a proposal first and then show to your supervisor. The supervisor will give you the comments. Is there any other ibadah would be good to practice to balance my life? Is there any other food to take to avoid to ensure I'll be energetic? Thank you, bro. All right. Ibadah is just normal. You know, you do. The main thing is that we stick to our amal. Excuse me. uh, excuse me. The main thing is we have to stick to our amal. Whatever you've been doing for so far, so many years, just keep on doing. And do some extra Quran recitation and zikir, inshallah, you'll be fine. And food to take, I mean, yeah, healthy food. I'm not sure what's the food, right? So we just have to um, find out good food, inshallah. Hmm. Okay, another question. Another question. Um, if I can't meet my supervisor, main supervisor, for some reason belong to him, but my co is handling, what to do in that case? That's no problem. You keep on the work with the co-supervisors, but at the same time, you have to update both of them. Be diplomatic, okay? Be diplomatic. That means you don't judge one is doing more, another one is doing less. Both are supervisors, okay? If they contribute, they're helping you, then you just keep on doing the work, inshallah. You'll be fine. Okay, any more question? Um, um,
I think
MC,
you are done with the questions. Here?
MC, yeah.
Yes. So
MC, what's your? I'm sorry, I'm calling you MC. What's your name, please? Yeah,
it's Hipsa.
Hifsa. Okay, Hifsa, you have any question or any question from your friends? Yeah.
I think most of the questions are answered, and the session was totally very informative and already answered all of my questions.
Alhamdulillah, very good, mashallah. But
Yeah.
the only thing is kind of new for me. You know what? Because I've been talking to the monitors now. I don't have the live audience. Normally, I with the live audience, I'll have a bit of laugh as well, like a
More interaction you will be
yeah,
having.
interaction. It's true,
Yeah.
but it's kind of difficult for me as well, without any live audience, right? So, well,
Yeah,
inshallah,
that's
once
maybe
the
that's also part of your new experiences, like
yeah,
you guide us.
that's what I said. Is a motivation for me as well, new experience for me, and I'm also
Mhm.
learning at the same time.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your experience with us.
Yeah.
I would
Any
like to invite the president of PGSC,
yeah,
Mr. Abdul Rahman Aminu Ghali, if
right.
he wants to share something or
Okay.
join the talk for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Prof.
Yes, Abdul.
I wish to
Remember,
thank I wish to thank you for sharing the great session
yeah.
and that
Hopefully, I've covered as the wish of the student. I fulfill. Hopefully.
and the PGSC members for the large amount of work they have done and for the generosity they have shown.
Yeah.
Second, I wish to thank the participants for this great session, for their time and energy, and for devotion they have shown. I
So,
hope that everyone have enjoyed this session. We enjoy having you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation and for the organization by the committee members. And inshallah, if in the future if you need any assistance, any help from me, any other talks, just inform me. Inshallah, I'm ready.
Inshallah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, bro.
Hope to see you again very soon.
Yeah. Later, I will share you the slide so you can distribute to the participant if they require the slides. I'll share to you guys. Inshallah.
Yeah, sure, doctor.
Okay. All the best. All the best for your studies. I pray that everyone will be successful, and then inshallah, hope to see you guys in the future. And if there is any mistake, I ask for forgiveness and see you inshallah.
Ameen.
Thank you,
Assalam.
May
sir.
Allah ease your ways.
Make dua for me inshallah. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Amen.
Bye.
Alaikum salam.